Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Guy, and this is Guy Talks Sports. Um, so, the NCAA and Tennessee are currently going at it. If you are into college athletics at all, whether you're a Tennessee fan or not, you have probably heard about this ongoing case between these two organizations. So, um, I'm going to give this video is really more just a quick update on the concerning the case, and then I'll probably end up doing um, another video here later, kind of just highlighting the different things that have happened so far and kind of reviewing the whole case. This video is specifically more just an update on some recent happenings. So I'm recording this Wednesday morning. This came out late Tuesday afternoon, and I'm pulling most of this from Channel 10 News WBIR. This is by the WBIR staff. So the U.S. District Court Judge Clifton Corker ruled against the TRO filed by the Attorneys General of Tennessee, Jonathan Skrmetti, and Virginia, Jason Mayares, I believe is how you pronounce that. Basically, they filed the TRO, which is a temporary restraining order against the NCAA. And basically, this would have immediately stopped the NCAA from having any ability to ban student athletes from having discussions with schools regarding potential NIL, that is name, image, likeness, benefits. And so basically the NCAA currently, I believe their current stance is that you can sign with the school, great, but you cannot talk about benefits until you sign with the school, which is, in this current world of NIL it's pretty ridiculous. You have all these guys sign, and then the next day they're getting huge deals done, and that's because this is all going on before they sign. But technically, the NCAA is saying no, they can't. You can't talk about any of this before you get there, and so the NCAA is probing Tennessee about a bunch of stuff that happened throughout the past couple of years. And so this TRO was filed, but the Judge Clifton Corker ruled against the TRO. And basically, he stated that there wasn't really, he couldn't really justify the urgency of the TRO. I believe these were filed, I think this was filed on last Friday. Both the NCAA and the attorneys general were filing these things, and then this is kind of the main reason it was ruled on today is because they were trying to get this done before National Signing Day on 2/7, and so basically, he ruled against it, and he stated that this is quote, the inability of schools and collective to facilitate NIL discussion and provide services to assist student athletes in navigating the NIL market also does not constitute irreparable harm. It goes on to say, although such discussions and services would likely prove beneficial, the quote-unquote states have failed to show how the absence of those discussions and services would cause actual and imminent harm. So he's saying basically, we can't justify a TRO, that there's not really any harm happening to these students. Although getting rid of this rule would be beneficial to the students, he said, it's not causing any actual harm. So, small battle won by the NCAA. However, in the grand scheme of things, this was more of a reach than anything, because the really just the appetizer to the main course kind of thing. And I pulled this next part from the Knox News. This is by Adam Sparks. So it says, Corker continues saying, and this is where he starts talking more about the case more than just the TRO, which he ruled against. Quote, considering the evidence currently before the court, plaintiffs are likely to succeed on the merits of their claim under the Sherman Act, the Antitrust Act. NCAA's NIL recruiting ban likely harms competition, which this would make it anti-competitive and therefore, quote, likely foster economic exploitation of student athletes, end quote. So the Sherman Act is basically in place to avoid monopolization, and it upholds competition in the marketplace so that everybody can get their fair value. So basically, the NCAA saying, you can't figure out what you're worth to these schools before you sign. And when it comes to student athletes, they're just, and it's not every case. Some athletes are, committing to schools because of the school. But for the most part, if you're a kid, especially coming from a low economic standing, and you could stand to benefit significant profit, wouldn't you want that? You would want to know, hey, how much is this school's going to? Oh, they're going to offer me this much. What do you have to counter? And them getting as much as they can for their value. And the NCAA is kind of going against this, and it's not legal, essentially. And so if this continues and this ends up going to court, it really is not looking good for the NCAA. So I think a lot of this centers around the NCAA investigating into Tennessee. I think a lot of this comes from the Nico Iamaleava private flight to Knoxville when he was being recruited, which I believe, I don't know if it was the head of Spire Sports or the attorney, one of the main attorneys for Spire Sports, laid everything out. And again, I can do another video. Kind of, it's probably going to be a much longer video, kind of going over all these things. And a lot of it has to do with the NCAA enforcing rules that were not in place. They're retroactively enforcing these rules, which were not in place a couple years ago when they're trying to knock some of these schools. And again, I'll do another video, but imagine driving, and I've heard, it's not a novel reference, I've heard this done by several people, but imagine driving down the highway and the speed limit is 55, and there's a camera on you and it shows you doing 55, and then 2 years later they say, you know what, we're reducing this to 45 miles an hour. If you just look at that, and then them go back and say, well, you were doing 55 2 years ago, so we're going to have to write you a ticket. Like, that's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd what they're trying to do. And it's really not Tennessee versus the NCAA. This is college football versus the NCAA, and there's been a ton of support, from a lot of not just local media but national media. And so anyway, we'll get in. I'll like I said, I'll do a whole nother video and we'll really break down everything and kind of give a good timeline as to some of the different things and kind of explain what all's went down. But this is really just the update. TRO, the temporary restraining order, was ruled against. However, still looks bad for the NCAA in the long run. big thing. If you like this video, please like it. And the number one thing you could do for me is to subscribe to the channel. I currently sit at five subscriptions, and the goal is 1,000. So only 995 to go, but we can do it. We can do it. Please, subscribe to this channel. I really enjoy getting to do these videos, and I want to be able to keep doing these. So please subscribe, like the video. Also, you can follow me on X, Twitter, whatever it's called. It's at GDF Talks Sports, where I've just started doing some of this stuff, and so I only have a handful of tweets out there right now, but I'm going to keep trying to post stuff regarding Tennessee. Tennessee does play LSU today, so I'm probably going to do a video on that tomorrow morning, kind of reviewing that game. But anyway, like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Hope you have a great day, and look forward to doing another video regarding this whole mess. All right, thanks everybody.